Hey everybody, welcome to Fantasy Football Academy 2020. As always, I am the Dean of the Academy, your host, and I'm coming to you on a post quarantine, post stay at home edition of the Fantasy Football Academy. Now, for some of those out there, your ban has been lifted and we're out of quarantine. Things are going kind of back to normal. We're trying to get in a groove. So with this Monday kicking off, we're going to start mock draft Monday. Now mock drafts are kind of a practice run. You know, some of you out there might think, well, why do I need a practice run? Why can't I just do my research and go into the draft and do the draft and, that be it? Well, here's the thing. Anybody who's ever played sports knows that you work out all the kinks in practice. So, working out the kinks in fantasy football is no different. So you want to have practice runs. You want to be able to go in there, draft at different positions. Because a lot of times when you go into your draft, you're not going to know what position you're drafting in until you get there. So you're not going to really have a strategy until the day of the draft. Some leagues will let you know ahead of time what position you're drafting in, some won't. Some like to make it a game where you pick a card and that card has your number on it and that's the position you drafted. So it kind of adds a little suspense to it and, makes it a little more fun. And that's what fantasy football is all about when you get down to it. It's just fun. So have fun with it and listen, if you're going to do a mock draft, make sure that you're doing one in the draft league that you're going to be playing in. Like, you're not going to do a mock draft for a half-point PPR league where you only get a half a point per reception. Remember, PPR stands for points per reception. So you're not going to do a draft in a 12-team league with that kind of restrictions if you're only playing in a standard scoring league. And you're only playing with 10 teams. So you want to make sure that when you're doing your mock draft, you're going to have those options. You're going to have the option of what mock draft to do. Pay attention to it. It's important, and it's going to play into your practice. Like, let's say that you're playing football. You're not going to go out and practice baseball or tennis. That would just be ridiculous. It's the same concept. So, for Mock Draft Monday, we're giving a little advice here, kind of warming you guys up. Next week, we're going to be setting up our mock draft, and I'm going to be doing a mock draft online. We're trying to work out to where we might have guests with us from previous years that have people have played with me. So we'll see what happens there, but regardless, we're going to have a mock draft live. We're going to see what position we draft in and how it all works out. You're also going to be able to see ADP, which is average draft position. This is what mock drafts help you do. They help you determine where players are going and in what order. Now, the only thing about this is that it does not take into account, if you'll recall back a few episodes, it does not take into account local flavor. And if you missed that episode, subscribe, like, share down the bottom, guys, and you'll find out what local flavor is, along with some of the mistakes that are made during mock drafts. I'll give you a little preview, a little cheat code here. Local flavor is if you're in a region where, let's say, take for instance me in Louisiana. A lot of Saints players are going to be going earlier than what they normally would, like online. If you're playing online and you have a guy who's, I don't know, let's say in Detroit, he might take Kenny Golladay, wide receiver for the Lions, a little earlier than somebody might in a normal draft because that's his home team, that might be his favorite player. So he might go a few spots higher. And if you were targeting Golladay lower in the draft than what you normally would, that's going to throw a kink in your plans. So things to watch out for there. Like I said, go back and watch the 8 mistakes that are made during fantasy football drafts, and You know, my buddy D Money is on there with me, so we'll be able to walk you through some of those mistakes that we hope that you don't make. And as always, remember, friends don't let friends. Well, friends will let friends draft drunk. So, but for Mock Draft Monday, you know, I just want to remind you, do as many mock drafts as you possibly can. There's no way that you can do too many mock drafts. You know, you can get in there and draft from every position. Draft from 1 to 10. If you're in 12-team league, 1 to 12. Like I said, if you're just dipping into fantasy football, I would recommend that you stick with a 10 to 12-team league. Outside of that, you kind of get a little scarce on the talent pool the later in the draft that you get. So, tomorrow we're going to be going over Team Building Tuesday. If you see the hashtags behind me, hashtag Mock Draft Monday, hashtag Team Build Tuesday. So Team Building Tuesday is basically going to be, you know, what kind of strategy you're wanting to do for your mock draft, how you want to build your team. So for those of you who really don't have a plan, mock drafts are amazing. They're a very useful tool. I recommend them highly. Now, for Team Build Tuesday, we're going to go over what position you're drafted is going to affect how your team is built. Just for instance, if you draft in this number 2 spot, you're probably going to wind up with a very top tier running back. Then back in the second round, a lot of those running backs are going to be gone. So your top 2 or 3 receivers could possibly be gone as well. So you're looking at a second tier receiver or a second tier running back. And we're going to go over how your draft position is going to affect your team build. We're getting a little more of that tomorrow. But as always, I would like to say thank you to Zia of Lafayette. For those of you who don't know, Zia is still doing curbside pickup, a hashtag curbside strong. So get down if you're in the Lafayette area, in Lafayette, Louisiana. Please stop by Zia Rotisserie Bar and get you a family pack. They're starting at $35. Call up. It's 406-0013. Area code is 337. So go check them out online. Order them off a waiter. Or like I said, stop by and pick up curbside. It's very easy. They have a great staff, and they're very willing to help you. They're taking every precaution necessary. And speaking of precautions that are necessary, if you're watching this and you're in one of those places where the stay-at-home order has been lifted, remember, mask up, protect yourself, protect others, hashtag mask up. If you're going out, remember, this is what you should look like. You want to keep this COVID thing under control? Mask up, guys. So, masking up for the Fantasy Football Academy 2020. This has been the Dean. As always, thank you for your support. Remember, subscribe, like, share down below, and keep tuned for more Mock Draft Monday, Team Build Tuesday coming soon.